You think people took more risks back then?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
1,000%.
The way it is now is beyond fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, go on.
It's beyond fucking annoying. Have you ever seen more outlets for content?
No.
Right.
And have you ever seen more people going, well, I think...
Maybe? Yes? No?
You're 100%
It's
okay, yeah.
back in the day.
Okay, tell me.
You could go to the Polo Lounge. You could meet the president of the network and the vice president of the network. You could pitch him an idea. You could talk about it on a napkin. You could have a coffee, and they go, all right, if you can write this up in a treatment, you talk about this, we'll figure out development money. Bam.
Right.
Now it's like, I have something for YouTube Red Argentina, and we need to know where your funding is going from. And it's like so specific and overthought. It's like
No one's taking risks.
not at all.
Yeah.
I will go crazy in this booth right now if we go down that rabbit hole. You know why? Because
Go crazy,
here's
man.
what it is.
Yeah.
And I want your people to know this. Why Hollywood is fucked up in some ways, because it's great, is you have risk takers pitching to the risk averse.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing. I came from nothing. All I do is just try. And you have people going, I don't want to lose. I'm making $200,000 a year. I have a private school I need to pay for my kid. I don't have any of that.
Yeah.
So when you have people that are taking chances and other people that don't want to lose, it's a fucking...
Right.
And that's annoying.
But isn't that finding kind of the magic? You got to find the magician. Because like you see, even when you had your show for a while, when you had
61 episodes.
yeah, but you found the guy who you collabed with. That's not always easy to for whatever era you're in.
At all.
Yeah.
At all.
Also, don't you kind of get it? Like because you have to be partially business minded in this industry, right? So
Yes.
if they're more risk adverse, I know you're frustrated by that, but do you also get it, or do you think that it's a dumb decision?
What does that? What do you mean? Do I get it?
Do you get why they're doing that? Do you understand why business-wise it might make sense for them to understand where the funding is coming from, or how this is going to make back the money that they're putting into it?
But it's not. There's no rhyme. Sometimes there's no rhyme or reason to it. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like what times? Like when-
Well, okay, social influencers, right? Let's have this person with this amount of social influence, and this is going to drive these numbers.
Right.
It's not true.
Yeah.
It's not true. Just because you have 500,000 followers doesn't mean those people are going to show up at the theater or download. There's a chance.
You're
you're just saying
right.
there's no correlation, and that's why it's stupid,
Right.
because it doesn't make any sense why they're making these business issues.
I'm saying if you're going for a guest spot on Verizon's Go 90,
Right.
and it's
Which we worked
living
on.
in the cloud, and you have to click 10 things to get to it, and you have somebody that's a known entity, what are you going to audition them for? Like, just give them, like, people overthink, everybody
Right.
thinks they're making something that's bigger than it is.
Well, what
there are a
about-
few big things, like the Avengers and those
Right.
type of things, but there's a lot of things that are smaller.
Yeah,
So you
well,
think there should be more straight offers for bigger people?
Not just offers, but just not overthinking it. There's
Yeah.
a lot of overthinking it. Do you agree with that?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Right?
Well, I think that's one of the reasons that Chappelle's special hit as hard as it did, because you can't look at that and say that wasn't risks. I mean,
Dude,
Yeah.
I wrote this to tell me if this makes sense.
Yeah.
Chappelle not only bit the hand that fed him, he gnawed it off and spit in its face.
right,
I mean, it's
and made money off of it.
yes.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, people could say he made a ton of money and all this stuff, and what does he have to risk? You're right. He really went after everything you're not supposed to go after.
Right.
And he did not hold back. And that's incredible. And so he could lose his future, but he only made it stronger.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
It was fearless. Yeah, it was fearless.
I just loved it.
Yeah.
And we talk about it all the time, like the social justice warriors, the stage in a comedy club being a very safe space for comedians to really try whatever you can try. Obviously, people taking videos on their cell phones is a problem and that kind of stuff, and a lot of comedy clubs are clamping down on that.
Yes.
But like somebody like Chappelle that came and really took do you think that comedy is really taking a hit? Because like Todd Phillips even said, it's so hard to direct a comedy now. We're trying to be so safe all the time that we are literally
Because
losing
of
the laughs.
woke society.
Yes.
Yes. You know what I do? I do this woke. You know what woke people should do? Take an Ambien.
Yep.
No, I feel like, I mean, I said it's not good for me to do this, but we might as well,
We're
see
live,
what
it's
happens. If you were to go back in my history and look at characters I played, I'm going to be in trouble.
Right.
I'm going to be in trouble. So it's like, no, comedy is actually stronger than it's ever been. I think it's almost bigger. I've never seen more comics. I've never seen more successful comics. I've never seen more bigger comics representing all different types of people, like all different sexualities and races. I mean, everybody is in the game, and there's success. I think almost every representative has a success. I mean, I might be wrong, but I think that's true. And I think that comedy is being pushed back, but I also think it's also being expressed in a great way. So, yes, there is a war, but it's a good time.
Yeah.
Well said.
No, I'm with you.
I mean, you look at Comedy Store was my home, and you look at the way that, and I got past there in 2002. Club is very different back from 2002 to today.
Oh, bro, I was there last night. It's beyond sold
It's
out.
crazy.
It's
now.
incredible.
It's crazy now.
Yeah.
What do you do about the fact, because you just said if somebody goes back, you're going to be in trouble. What do you do about that? Do you try to get ahead of it like some people have? And some people just come out and say like, okay, I did blackface back in the day, and I just want everybody to know that before somebody finds it. Or some people come out and say, this was my tweet. Or do you just wait? Like, how do you deal with that?
It's a great question. Here's what it is. It depends on what it is. You have to be able to defend your position. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I will say this right now. I shouldn't say this, but you can look at it. On the Jamie Kennedy Experiment, I played black characters. Okay? Yeah. And they were characters. They were makeup and prosthetics and tons of. It was a character. It was acting, and it was on national television. So a lot of people liked it. You know, black and white. So
what do you think, looking back at that, though? Like, if they were asking you to make a statement about it, what do you do?
I would say I'm an actor.
Yeah.
I would say that's why I love acting, and I would not be offended. Again, it's just not for me to say because I am the epitome of white male Hawaiian shirt privilege. I mean, look at me. I can't complain about anything. So I've had the first entree into anything in the world, right? What I am, and now that's what everybody's pushing back against, which they should. But I would defend my position to the ability to act. I think there has to be a conversation that says what's acting, what's racism, what is it? I mean, Scarlett Johansson.
All right.
A movie with Scarlett Johansson was canceled because they said Scarlett Johansson could not play a trans character. Okay. First of all, I want to educate people. Scarlett Johansson is one of the biggest stars in the world, maybe top 10 of any gender, right?
Yeah.
In order to make a movie, you have to have a box office star. She's the star. And then you have this small quadrant that really had a beautiful personal story that she wanted to tell. And because she was bullied, it's now dead. So now that story is out because you didn't let her tell it. What's wrong with her playing? She's acting.
What about
what do you say back to people though who would say that there aren't any major trans stars because they haven't been given the opportunity, and that's why you can't cast a trans star in that role because she's bigger, because she's booking roles like that?
I would say you're right. There needs to be more representation. But in the meanwhile, let's make your stories. And if that person wants to make that movie and take that risk with an unknown trans star, then they should. But if it's her find, her baby, her production, why do you want to stop it?
Right.
You know, but I agree with you. There should be. But to say that we can... So am I just a white dude in my 40s? Is that all I'm going to be able to play? Can I ever play women? Can I ever play a monster? What happens to all the people when I auditioned yesterday for a chicken, for an animated show? Should I have gone to a real chicken? I mean, I'm serious. I play beach balls.
What do you...
Talking beach balls.
What do you think?
There's beach balls out of work?
What do you think the
Come
answer should be?
on.
So you think
Come
you should be able
on. The answer is common sense.
Yes, it is.
It's
He's
common
right.
goddamn sense.
Right.
Do you agree? Are you taking a position? Because I feel like you're the person who's like the sky is sunny. Well, I see a cloud. I don't know. Are you doing that, or are you actually feeling this?
No, I'm curious. Your thoughts. Honestly, I'm not saying anything about me. I'm just curious how you feel.
It's not for me to say because, like, again, I am the most privileged. Do you understand? I have been in the history of the world the most privileged, so it's not for me to comment on. But I believe that everyone should have a shot, but I believe that we have to have common sense, and I believe a lot of people don't realize that. Like last night, did you watch that debate?
Some of it.
Did anybody speak to you? I'm really going off track.
No,
Did you
great.
feel that anybody was fucking real?
No.
Where was the person with humor? Where was the person
There
with vulnerability?
hasn't been in forever.
They're dorks.
Yeah.
They're such dorks. Please put this out there. They're not real. They don't talk like us.
Right.
They're like, well, dude, automation. Are you out of your fucking mind?
That's why
they
there's-
are going to take jobs.
Yeah.
People don't realize that. They're fucking lying to the American
Don't trust the
public.
robots, man. Never.
No, but robots are coming, and people don't think that. You know what they should have said? Listen, a lot of people are going to lose their job if it's losable. And here's what you got to do. You got to figure out how to restructure your finances so you can survive.
Right.
Because that's coming. No one said that.